It'll be 6 years this Friday since I walked out of the hospital without my son, Zach. 6 years. And I can tell you that losing a child to leukemia is not something that you ever get over. And while I have great memories of Zach as Batman and Superman and the Jedi Master, every single day, and I'm not kidding you, I struggle with the memories of the harrowing treatments and side effects that he endured. These are treatments that we were grateful to have. The night that Zach died, I walked out of the hospital and I remember distinctly staring at the floor and thinking to myself, this can't be over. And then I said, this is not over. Through the crushing, and really that's why I stand here today as the national chair of LLS's $100 million Children's Initiative. You see, over the last 6 years, I've really used my engineering background and I've studied the barriers that are slowing our progress in childhood cancer. I kind of got into the details of one of those nerds. And I have really become a national advocate. And what I found out, I can't get over. You see, we've made a lot of progress in childhood cancer and in childhood leukemias, blood cancers. But blood cancers are still the leading cause of childhood cancer deaths. And kids with cancer, you may not know this, continue to wait at the end of the line for new treatments. So let me give you a little example. In the last 2 years, 53 new drugs were approved for adult cancers. Guess how many have been approved for childhood cancers over the last 40 years? 4. In a Harvard study recently, they studied the amount of time it takes from when an adult gets to try a new drug to the first trial in kids. You know how long that lag time is? 6.5 years. You see, childhood cancer is largely ignored by pharmaceutical companies. Look, it's risky, it's expensive, and it isn't profitable. Let's just face it, it's a pain in the butt. Bottom line is that we have very unique but very solvable challenges in childhood cancer, and we need a big, unique action plan. But let me tell you something, despite these challenges, we have a lot of hope. Targeted in immunotherapies and drug combinations that are tailored to the individual patient, they hold great promise. And really, they produce breakthroughs in a lot of different cancers. But I'm here to tell you today that these are slow to reach our kids. I'm also here to tell you, not anymore. Because the LLS Children's Initiative and the Pedal Master Trial will fundamentally change how we treat kids like Zach. They're going to deliver less toxic, more curative, precision medicine faster. And that includes kids right here in Dallas. Let me give you just a 2-second story to kind of send it home and make it real. So as an advocate, I'm in a meeting with the top pediatric oncologists in the country. And these leukemia doctors are really talking to this drug company. They're trying to make the case to please let them test this new drug in kids. These are kids that share the same grim prognosis as Zach, the same genetics. And in a different leukemia, they're little babies. Babies with ALL leukemia have a horrible prognosis, and these doctors are begging for this drug. Well, the drug rep is all about 27 years old, and she's like, yeah, okay. After the meeting, I want to go over and shake her shoulders and say, did you not hear what they said? Babies are dying. Well, let's fast forward a couple of months. These same doctors find themselves in the office of the CEO of this drug company, with the top executives, planning out how they're going to roll out this drug to kids, probably in 2020. One of the first 4 arms of the LLS Pedal Master Trial. Why? How'd they get there? 4 words: the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. LLS is going to improve processes and make the structural changes necessary so it's more efficient for these drug companies. They're incentivized to test these great new drugs in our kids. And that's just one story. I have a lot more, but they're going to fire me if I don't finish up. But to wrap things up, to tell you about my son Zach, you know, even at 8 years old, Zach was this crazy collector of music. And one day in the hospital, he gave me the song that you just heard on the video. He said, handing me his iPod, "Mom, here, this song is for you." That's when love can build a bridge of light, what turns the wrongs all right, when you can't give up the fight. Only love can build a bridge of light. Some of you in this room can help us find small pieces of this Little Children's Initiative bridge. Some of you can find some big old hunks of this bridge. Some of you today in this audience and your loved ones have been saved by cutting-edge treatments that our kids, they're not yet available to our kids. So I'm going to use the word beg. I beg you today, raise your paddle. Adopt a piece of this Children's Initiative bridge. Do it for the babies. As Zach's song said, love can build us a bridge of light. Come on, Dallas. Let's fund the fight.